Okay, students, we have something new this year. It is a digital hall pass, and that is brand new. We used to have planners. Remember those good old fashioned paper planners? I was obsessed with mine. I still use a paper planner, but I digress. We have now moved to a digital hall pass system. We did this for a few reasons. First of all, it saves time in the classroom. So if you have to use the restroom or go in the hallway for any reason, you create the pass yourself and your teacher okays it. It's a quick interaction. They don't have to stop and write a pass or find the pass that's missing from the room or sign anything. You are going to do majority of the work here because you're old enough and mature enough to do so. Second of all, it allows us to have some more data on who's going to the restroom every single period, because maybe that's a different conversation that needs to happen. Or it also allows us to understand what's happening in the hallways, or if there is something that happens in the hallways, we know exactly who was out there, maybe who witnessed it, who was involved in it. In addition to that, it gives us the ability to separate students in the hallway. So if we know that two students do not get along, I can set it up in our system now where the two of you are no longer allowed in the hallway at the same time. And so there's a safety thing in there. And I think it's going to be really great. Now, to this point, this week, your teachers have been doing the passes for you. Starting Monday, that is not going to be the case. So there should be an app on your Chromebook called My Homework. It probably looks like this blue thing up here. So it's a blue background with a pencil. I did hear, though, that it looked more like this. I haven't had a chance to go and look myself, but Mr. McCormick put them on all of your Chromebooks. All you're going to do is click that icon, and you are going to sign in with Google, and it will look like what you see on the screen. So you will have a screen that looks just like this. The most important thing I want to get across right now is that for you to get a pass to use the restroom or go to your locker, you are going to hit this plus button right here, and it will say Add Hall Pass. And it's going to ask you, what kind of pass do you need? Oh, well, I need to go to the nurse. It'll ask you what class you're leaving. Now, this is a demo student class, okay? So that's all that I have. I have lunch and then my demo class. You, though, are going to have every single period in your schedule will populate right here. And you're going to say, I'm in lunch right now and I need to use the bathroom. And I'm going to request that pass. So this is a sample. It's saying that I need to go to the nurse, and this is what it looks like. Now, when you create this pass to go to the nurse, it automatically pops up on her screen, and it says, sample student Elizabeth Herkler is coming down to you. And it tells where I'm coming from. It tells you why I need to come to you, and it tells you the time and the date. When you arrive at the nurse's office, she's going to check a box right here that's going to say student has arrived. You're going to do your thing in the nurse's office, and then when you are ready to go back to class, she's going to check a different box that says return to class. That notifies your teacher that you are on your way from the nurse's office back to the classroom. Now, my hope is that this eliminates a lot of the dilly-dally that can come when we do things in the hallway. So if the nurse gives you a pass to come back to the classroom, your teacher knows what time you left that location. So if you are gone for longer than a couple minutes, she's going to know you were moving at that snail pace to come back, or you diverted and did a bunch of other things. They are going to know what time you left that location to give us an approximate time of when you should come back. Now, I have set passes up for different lengths of time. So your Your restroom pass is 5 minutes. Hallway pass is 2. Going down to the nurses 2. Those can be adjusted. So if like we think 5 minutes in the restroom is too long because you end up somewhere else, we can adjust that. Now I can adjust it for everybody as a whole school. I can adjust it for grade level. I can adjust it for an individual. I have control over that. So I am kind of the keeper of the gate here. And so we did minutes that we thought would work. We can adjust those. Or if you take advantage of that, we will adjust it just for you. That is how it's going to look. Now, in addition to that, this My Homework app will talk to your Google Classroom. So if a teacher puts in a homework assignment and it's in your Google Classroom, you are going to see it pop up right here, which is kind of cool. So it has completely replaced your planner in every way that we've used the planner for. So you can also add a homework assignment. Like if you wanted to just put something in that you know is coming up, you are able to do that. It has a calendar on here. This is your completed homework, your late homework, upcoming homework. Every single night, this will talk to your Google Classroom and talk to your Teacher Ease. So you will start to see this populate as teachers start assigning homework and assignments. There's different announcements out here. So like I could post an announcement to 6th grade, to junior high, to high school, to junior high and high school. That's where you would find that. And this will be a listing of all your teachers. Now, I am in a demo class, right? I'm a demo student in this presentation. But for you, it will populate all of your teachers. You can also find a different teacher if you needed to talk to somebody. So it does a lot of cool things. It's very user-friendly. See, now this says I'm active at the nurse's office right now. And then the nurse would have to end my pass when I got there. And that is how our hall pass system is going to work. Something that you're going to want to know is I have it set right now that every student gets 10 bathroom breaks per week. That means that basically like 2 times a day you can utilize the restroom. After that, we have to have a conversation because you can also utilize the restroom when you get here in the morning. You can utilize it at lunchtime. And then there's after school or when you're changing for PE. If you need to utilize the restroom, you can do that. So there are other times throughout your day that do not require a pass. If you use the restroom during lunch, that is not going to count against your pass count. So really good time for you to utilize the restroom would be at lunchtime. But you get 10 passes every week, every Monday through Friday. So be aware of that. There are also limitations on certain things like the nurse's office. So if the nurse already has, I think it's set to 5 people at the nurse's office and you request a pass to the nurse, it's going to populate and it's going to tell you, there's already 5 people at the nurse. Please check again in a few minutes. If you are someone who has an alert on their account, so you are someone who can't be out in the hallway with somebody else, like I was talking about earlier, then it's going to say, this pass is not going to happen right now. Check back in a few minutes. The system is going to wait for that other person to be checked back into their classroom before it lets you come out. So lots of cool stuff with the digital hall pass. Mostly I want you to know, starting Monday, your teachers are not going to be creating passes for you. You are going to do it yourself in your digital hall pass system. So right now I want you to locate where that is on your screen. In your Chromebook, click it, log in with Google. It should see your Google account. Everyone should be in there. And it's, again, pretty user-friendly. I think you guys will catch on to it very quickly. I know your teachers have been creating the hall passes to this point, but starting Monday, you are going to be the one that creates your own hall passes. And in the same app, It talks to Teacheries and it talks to Google Classroom. So all of your assignments should be populated on there as well as you start to get assignments. I think that's it for now. If we have questions or concerns, certainly we will just work through those as they come up. This is a new system for everybody. So if we don't know all the answers right away, or if your teacher is trying to figure it out, grant us some grace as we all learn this new thing. But Miss Chapman and I really felt like we needed some way to kind of see where people were and what they were doing. And if you're in the restroom for too long, it lets us know so we can make sure you're okay. It's just a good way for us to know where people are, particularly during an emergency of any kind. If we don't have all the people, it's easy for Miss Chapman and I to look and see where you were, like when the fire alarm went off. Oh, you were in the, English hallway bathroom. I can go run in there and see if you're there. Like, you got to get out. Or if we're, in a lockdown and there's someone out in the hallways and the police chief comes to me and says, who's out, I can tell them exactly who's out and where you are. So it is a safety thing. It is, I think, a better option for this era in terms of technology as opposed to a paper planner that you have to carry around. And I think it's a good way for us to just kind of make sure everyone's safe and where they should be, and to eliminate any kind of student interactions in the hallways or the restrooms that we do not want. Now, every teacher has a different system. I did not tell them how their system was going to go in terms of how you show your teacher that you are going to have a hall pass. They should have talked to you about that already, and if they haven't, then they will right now. But whether or not you are putting your computer up by the front door or by the door when you leave, or if you're just flipping your screen around to show them that you are going to the restroom, everybody's going to have a different system. You will learn what teachers want you to do what. When it comes to alerting them of the hall pass in the classroom, but I think that this could work. And if it doesn't, we'll try something different next year. But we wanted to start somewhere, and this is a really good place to start. So I hope it goes smooth. If not, please let us know. But again, I think that in this system, you will be able to navigate it fairly easily. And to create your hall pass, you're just clicking on this plus sign. You're adding a hall pass. You're saying where you want to go. I want to go talk to the counselor. You're saying what class you're leaving. And then you have a counselor pass. Then Mr. Marafsa or Mrs. Donovan are made aware that you're coming. They also have limits on how many students can go there at one time. So if you get a kickback saying, the counselor is not available right now, try again in a few minutes, go ahead and do that. Or if you need to talk to the counselor, you can also, you guys on email decided of a time, the counselor will send a pass to your teacher to let them know that they want to see you. So it's a pretty slick system. I think there's going to be kinks we have to work out and we have to learn it. But I think that overall this is a cool technology tool to help us work smarter, not harder. We'll figure it out together, but I wanted to give you the basics. Okay, starts Monday.